Doing protecting groups. Dude, I promise you, this used to be so complicated to me. Not gonna lie, it really wasn't, but I could tell it was complicated, like when I was learning the first time. Okay, basically we're only playing with two, like there's only two characters in this. We're gonna have a ketone and we're gonna have an ester. So I'm gonna use white to just point. Ketone and ester. Okay, so there's a lot of terminology you need to know. You need to know what a ketone is. You need to know what an ester is. You know what it means to be protected. You need to know what it means to be reduced. And you need to know about the reagents, and that's it. Okay. First off, what's the whole point of this? We want to be able to, okay, we have this ketone and ester. We want to be able to, okay, some reagents, some reaction we do, the ketone is saved. Okay, 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 okay. I don't want to make this complicated. Some reactions we do, like the first one we do, the ketone is still there and the ester became an alcohol. So you see right here, the ketone is the same and the ester became an alcohol. We use the reagents NaBH4 and ethanol. This is ketone only. You see how it's ketone only? Only the ketone became an alcohol, OH, and the ester did not move. That's why the ester is called protected and the ketone is reduced to an alcohol. It is chemoselective, okay? Basically, the ketone only changed. The ester changed. No, 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 no. The ketone changed. The ester didn't change. Now I want you to look at this way. We use two things. We use LiAH4, and second step we use H plus and H2O. This makes both the ketone and ester into both alcohols. So you see how both of them became an alcohol. If you use these two reagents, both of them become alcohol. So just chalk this, and then this becomes an H. So that's how we use it. So now the whole point of this, if you now you have to understand. So the first example, ester stayed the same and ketone changed. Second example, both changed. So the question you need to think now, like this is the whole point of this. What's the whole point of protecting groups? How do we get the ketone to stay the same while the ester changes? Okay, because the other example, ketone changed. So what are the reagents to only change the ester? Because this is strong enough to break both, but we only want to keep the ketone. That's it. So now there's three ways to do it, okay? First, we're gonna make the ketone into a bug. It's not making any sense. I'm gonna show you how it makes sense right now. It's gonna make ketone into a bug. We're gonna make it into a protecting group, okay? We're adding a protecting group, okay? The second step, we're gonna use LiH4, or we're gonna use a grignard reagent plus HATE220 to like do the reaction, and then we're gonna remove the bug. We're gonna remove the protecting group. Okay, I'm yapping too much. Let's get straight into the reaction. My ketone, my ester first. No, it's not even ester. It's like this, like that, and ketone. Let's put it in pink, honestly, just for fun. Okay, first step. We wanna add the bug. Okay, we're gonna make it into a protecting group. We're gonna take the ketone and make it into a bug or a bird. Okay, this is what I mean. You gotta add this two reagents right here. No, 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 that's still too much. Carbon, carbon right here. That's not even right. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay, bet. And then add H2SO4. So now what we did, we're making it into a bug, okay? So right here, and then this is gonna turn into a bug. Watch, watch. It looks like a bug. I mean, to me, it looks like a bug. It looks like on some Chimera and Arc type bug. Okay, good. We made the bug. So now, if you remember in the last example when we use LiAH4, you know how it reduced the ketone and the ester? This is only gonna reduce the ester because we made it protected. We made the bug. The bug's not gonna get affected. So yeah, just right here. This is where we're gonna. This is the reaction part. So LiH4 and excess. Damn. Et2O. Yeah. So this is how it's gonna be. I want you just to chalk all this right here and just start here. I mean, I didn't mean to do that, but you know what I mean. Just get rid of that. So now you're going to start here with the carbon. You're going to put a negative charge on this right here and then right here. We're going to do this. Okay, let me start here, right? And then, okay. No, I want it to be pink. Okay. Our bug is the same. You see what happened? The bug didn't change. The bug is still the same because made it protected. So now what we're gonna do last step, we want to go back to the ketone. Obviously, we can't stay a bug or a bird our whole life. So we got to go back to the ketone. We're gonna use H plus and H2O. Bam. What that's gonna do is that we're gonna get an alcohol. and then we're gonna get our ketone back. So, oh shoot, don't lose carbons. Dude, I promise you don't lose carbons. Right here, carbon 1 right there. Okay, let me do pink. All right, we got pink, and that is our answer. All right, yo, we're gonna be doing the second type of problem for this. It's basically just, there's basically two ways this question can be asked. It can either be asked as a reduction problem. In that type of problem, you're basically gonna get like an answer, the beginning and the end. The reduction would have like it wouldn't have a change in carbons, and then another type of question you might be asked, or the second type, or the last type. I'm bugging, bro. There's two questions that can be asked. The other type is a carbon-carbon bond. This question, the answer, like the before and after, the after will have more carbons. So you see how this one has like a bunch of other groups on it. That's a carbon-carbon bond. And so if that's your answer, then you know you're going to be using a grignard. So like that. So if it's a reduction problem, you don't use grignard. You just use these reagents. If it's bro, why does it look like this? But if it's like a if it's a carbon-carbon bond, you're gonna use a grignard. Another thing that I need to add, yeah, I just like looked at it again. Yeah, so NaBH4 plus ethanol could also reduce an aldehyde. So that means LiH4 can also reduce an aldehyde as well. It reduces everything. So just want to throw that out there before I get in. I know I make mistakes. I know I make a lot of mistakes. Okay, let's go straight into it. So we want to protect before we even do it. Let's look at the answer and let's look at our original problem. Okay, this is it, and this is the answer. The answer is gonna look like this: ketone, alcohol, like that. We want to look at the answer, right? Always look at the answer to figure out how to do a synthesis problem. What kind of alcohol is this? It's a tertiary alcohol. This carbon is connected to one carbon. So this carbon right here, let's use a different color. This is the carbon that's connected to the OH. Now you want to see how many carbons are connected to the one connected to the OH. So how many carbons is red connected to? He's connected to 1, 2, 3. So that means he's a tertiary alcohol. So you look at the top, a tertiary alcohol can come from a ketone or an ester if there are two identical groups. So you see in the answer right here, there are two identical groups. Like this is, you're not gonna see it with that color, but this is one identical group and this is the second identical group. So that's how you know that this is gonna come from an ester. So let's go straight into the mechanism or the synthesis, right? Okay, so we want to have ketone. We want to have the ketone like stay the same, right? So just in general, a grignard reagent will react with a ketone of the. If you have a ketone and an ester like together, and you have a grignard reagent, the ketone is a lot more reactive. So the grignard reagent is going to react with the ketone, but our whole goal is to keep the ketone protected, right? So like forgetting about protective groups and all that, a grignard reagent would react with a ketone, and our whole goal is how the hell do we get the ketone to not react with anything and just stay the same? So this is why we're gonna make it into a protecting group. We're gonna make it into the bug. So you use this reagent right here. I don't know what it's called, and use H2SO4, and this is gonna make the bug. Yo, I'm so stupid. Like legit. I've been guessing, not guessing, but like I just memorized how the bug looks. I never realized that this reagent literally is this right here. Dude, I'm wildin'. Because I was like contemplating like, yo, is it like this? You see the difference, right? This is an extra carbon. So I was like, I just started remembering like this guy, like the bird or bug, bro, he has the straightest hairline. That's how I remembered it. But then I just realized that it comes straight from the freaking reagent. Dude, whatever it is, just remember how it looks. Okay, so now this is not gonna change the freaking ester at all. So now what we're going to do, we're going to use the grignard reagent. It's a carbon-carbon bond. Like this question has a lot more carbons. So we're going to use the second step, we're going to use MgBr instead of LiH4. So this is how it's going to be. MgBr, so right, Br, not like that. We're going to use Br. No, put this at the end. Br, Mg. And now you want to look at how many carbons are in the answer. So look at the answer right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to put 3 carbons onto Br or Mg. So 1, 2, now do like this. 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 carbons on MgBr, and then the same dialkyl ether. So now you're going to get this product. Now, this is going to stay the same, right? You see how we protected it? It didn't change at all. Even though it's reactive, even though a ketone's reactive, since we made it into a protecting group, it's not going to react. So now what's going to happen is make this into a negative, and you added basically those groups, those alkyl groups. So now our last step is we're gonna kill two birds with one stone. Okay, basically two things are gonna happen once we add H plus and H2O. Two things are gonna happen. We're gonna get our ketone back, and we're gonna this O minus is gonna become an alcohol. So our final answer is gonna look like this. And then this is gonna become an alcohol, and then this is gonna have their groups. So this is how you do the synthesis of this. I I I hope to like, yeah, I'm trying to do more problems like this because I know two problems is not enough. So hopefully in the next like 3 days I can get to like maybe like five more, whatever. I'm not gonna give any like. I'm gonna just try to do more problems. That's it. So just thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below.